So let's go to the, speaking of stories, let's go to the next voice, which is storyteller. All right. Strength of the storyteller is engaging the audience. Okay, so you can stand up and you can engage the audience and you tell a story and it's awesome. And come on now, this is a huge thing right here. This is huge. I mean, Jesus was a great storyteller. Abraham Lincoln would often get criticized whenever someone asked him a question. He would go into a story. Well, the reason is story illustrates so much. Okay, so if you're a natural storyteller, what happens is in a sermon, a large percentage of your sermon goes to storytelling. Okay, and that's not a bad thing. This is part of your voice. But there is a weakness associated to storytelling. The weakness of the storyteller is where. All right, and what do I mean by the weakness of the storyteller is where? Well, here's what I mean by this. For the storyteller, the where is most important. You see, if you stand up and you just kind of share story after story after story, while the story may be engaging, the audience is thinking this. They're thinking, where is this going? Does this have a destination? Does this have a point? And so as a storyteller, one of the things you need to let your audience know is, I'm taking you on a journey, okay? So I'm going to tell you this story, but listen to this story because this story, there's a goal in mind. The reason that's important is the audience is thinking, is she just up there telling stories? Is he just up there telling stories? And so the question you need to answer for your audience is, where am I taking you? All right, where am I taking the audience, okay? And I think one of the great storytellers right now is a friend of ours, Donald Miller. Donald's
the best.
He's an amazing storyteller. Donald, this is his voice, I would tell you. But occasionally Donald will stop and he'll just let us know, hey, I'm taking you somewhere. I'm taking you somewhere, and then move on. Okay, it's just your audience wants to know that you're taking them somewhere. I call Donald the Quentin Tarantino of speaking, because you're like,
please tweet that.
Where is this going? It's amazing. And then at the end, it all comes together, and it's like, oh, this is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so if you've got the storyteller voice, you need just to stop every once in a while and go, hey, I'm taking you somewhere. I'm taking you somewhere. I'm taking you on a journey. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Now, if you're not taking them on anywhere, then this is where the preparation, here, let me tell you, for you storytellers out here, here's a little secret about you. You don't like to prepare. And the reason you don't like to prepare is you're like, oh, I got these 4 stories in my bag, and I'm just going to pull them out. It's going to be great. And they are great. But you assume, again, that since everybody's looking at you, it's great. But if you were to ask somebody leaving your storytelling presentation, hey, what was she talking about? What was he talking about? If they can't have that tweetable moment, I'm not so sure you were as effective as improving or challenging or helping them along. The goal, let me tell you the hero of your presentation. The hero of your presentation is not you. The hero of the presentation is the audience. And if you engage them and you tell great stories, that's awesome. But if they can't walk away thinking that they had some helpful content, I am not so sure that was a win. But if you can lead them toward a specific destination, and if you can answer this question for yourself in your preparation, I'm taking the audience here, and these 5 stories are going to help me get there. The other thing, and then we'll move on, is this. If you can look at your notes and have a percentage of how many stories you're telling, in addition to, or comparative to rather, your content, then that's a really good thing to figure out. And if it's 80% stories and 20% content, I don't know about that. You could probably get away with a little bit with that because this is your voice, but I try to make sure your content is leading us toward a destination and you're not just getting up, leveraging your great storytelling strength, and then just not leading us somewhere. So if you have a specific destination in your preparation and you can actually say this throughout your talk, it's going to be very, very helpful.